Hi girls, okay, it's Tuesday. We're almost to the middle of the week, and I, for one, cannot wait until this week and next week are over because I'm sick and tired of packing school lunches, and my kids will be out of school and we can go on our RV trip and start to enjoy the summer, and I'm super excited for it. Today I'm in the kitchen. Robbie and his mom and brother went on a little overnight RV trip. They're on the way home now, so I thought I would jump in here, whip up some dessert and lunch for when they come home. And today I'm making chicken tikka masala, which is an Indian dish, and I'm gonna make some fresh naan to go with it. Robbie loves homemade naan, and it's this incredible curry sauce, and you can take that naan bread and just sop up all that curry sauce, and oh my God, it's heaven, right? So I'll probably have to make two, one vegetarian and one with the chicken. And then I'm gonna make a dessert that I found online. I'm like a freak about Middle Eastern recipes for dessert, and I love Middle Eastern desserts. So I found one that looked really interesting, and I know I'm gonna say the name wrong, and I've been dreading saying this because I know you guys are gonna be laughing so hard at me, but it's called Aish el Saraya, or bread pudding. I know I said it wrong, okay, but please, like, maybe somebody can write the pronunciation in the comments. But anyways, it's like a bread pudding. So I'm gonna start with that. And I just bought a, I'm not gonna use that's the heel, but I just bought this kind of bread. This is Sara Lee bread. And I liked how it had a thicker crust and how it was soft, and it was like a bakery style bread. So you're gonna need to line 2 cookie trays with your bread, or you can toast them individually. All we're gonna do is line our baking trays with the bread. I have 12 slices, so I have 2 separate trays. My oven's at 375. It didn't really say a temperature, it just said to toast them, so I'm kind of winging it. I've lined my trays. I'm gonna need 12 slices because I'm using this baking dish, and I can fit 6, and then you need a second layer, so another 6. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw those in the oven and toast them off. And then we need to make a syrup, a simple syrup. I know, you would think by now I would be sick and tired of making this damn simple syrup, and I would go to the Arabic market and buy it, but I actually was out and forgot it, so I have to make it once again. Save yourself the trouble, buy the simple syrup, and skip this next step. But I'm gonna throw these in the oven, and then I'm gonna make the simple syrup. For the simple syrup, sugar, water, rose water, and lemon. That's all you need. A cup of sugar, a cup of water, lemon juice, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and then a teaspoon of rose water. If you choose to add that, I always do because it gives an extra Middle Eastern flavor that I like. So I'm gonna go throw these in the oven, grab the stuff to make the simple syrup. We'll make that, we'll whip together this dessert, and then we're gonna make the chicken tikka masala together. So I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm ready to make that simple syrup. Like I said, do yourself a favor. Buy the syrup already made, skip the step completely. It's a time saver, and if you can do it, do it. I just forgot once again, so I'm gonna make it. So you're gonna need a cup of white sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, okay, into a pot, and a cup of water. I'm just using cold water, 1 cup cold water. Turn it on. I'm turning it over like a medium-high heat. Let me grab my cutting board. All right, and we're gonna cut this lemon. Oh God, I don't want to spill my coffee. Mama needs her coffee today because I did not sleep. Robbie was gone overnight, and normally I don't mind being alone, or it doesn't bother me. I don't get nervous or anything like that. For some reason last night I was super uncomfortable. I missed him so much and I couldn't sleep. And I'm super tired today, so I need that coffee. Okay, and we're gonna take a lemon, and I always roll my lemon. It helps that juice come out a little bit easier. All right, there we go. And you're gonna squeeze in, I always squeeze in the juice of 1 lemon into my pot. I don't know if I can get this to stay, nope. All right, so anyways, I'm just gonna squeeze in the juice of the lemon. Now you don't wanna put the rose water in quite yet. Okay, we're not gonna do that quite yet. And I'm trying to remember, I know the recipe did say something about orange blossom, and I can't remember if that's for the custard or for the syrup. I'm gonna have to pause and look just so that I do it the correct way. I don't wanna make a mistake. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that on the side, all right? I wanted to show you how I do the simple syrup because there might be some of you out there that don't have it either, and if I skip this part, you're gonna be going crazy yelling at me that I didn't show you the step. So I'm just gonna mix together the syrup and the water, the sugar and the water to make the syrup is what I'm trying to say. You see, my brain's not quite functioning on all cylinders today. And you're gonna keep stirring that until it kind of boils, and then once it starts to thicken up, remember you don't want to let it go too long because if it browns, it's going to ruin your syrup, okay? So watch it carefully, stir it. Once it does start to thicken and boil, I'll remove it from the heat, turn off the heat, remove it from the heat, and that's when I'll add my rose water and the orange blossom if it calls for that. You have to be super, super careful with the orange blossom and the rose water because they can become very overpowering and they can ruin your syrup and make it too flowery tasting, and it doesn't taste good. So teaspoon at a time, be very careful when you add those flavors to it, okay? So I'm gonna go finish the syrup. The bread is toasting off in the oven, and then I will be back and we'll make the custard part. It seems pretty simple. Fingers crossed, we got this, we can do this, and we'll be back to make the custard. All right, that simple syrup looks pretty good, okay? And I am gonna add the rose water and the orange, it does call for orange blossom water as well. If you don't have the orange blossom water, I seriously wouldn't worry about it. You can use the rose water, but I would use definitely one or the other, okay? Because it's got that little extra flavor that this dessert needs. It's Middle Eastern after all. We have to add something to it, okay? So I'm gonna add, I like to do it little by little. Now, the original recipe called for like 2 tablespoons of each. There is no way that I'm adding that much of this to that because it's gonna be so overpowering, I'm not gonna like it. This is really strong. So maybe it was a misprint, or maybe I'm just going off the tracks here and doing it my own way. So I'm gonna add just a teaspoon, okay, of rose water. I'm gonna give it a mix. And I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of orange blossom water. I've never used this before, and I can tell you, it smells super strong, okay? So I'm gonna say it again, be careful adding this, okay? Even if you buy that simple syrup already made, you're gonna wanna add this to it. In goes that orange blossom water. I'm gonna taste it. I wanna taste it and see if I need to add more. Now, my simple syrup isn't super thick. Don't worry about it. Boil it, let it boil for a little bit, stir it so it doesn't burn. If it's a little bit thin, don't worry. You're gonna pour it over that toasty bread. It doesn't matter. Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh wow, it tastes so good. Of course it tastes good, it's pure sugar. I'm gonna add only a half a teaspoon more of the rose water. That's it. I think it just needs a skinch more. That's it. So I did a teaspoon and a half of rose water and 1 teaspoon of orange blossom water. And you know what? I can really taste it in there, and I think that that's just plenty. It smells great. Let's give it one last little taste. Let's see, I probably should use that same spoon, huh? I go through so many spoons. Tastes good. Oh, I like the orange. I kind of like that. All right, so here's my toasty bread. I'm not gonna spray my pan or anything. Doesn't really say to spray the pan, so I'm not going to. So now we are gonna layer up our bread. Here's my toasty bread. It's toasted. It's got a little crunch to it, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of fit them in there so that there's no gaps. Maybe I'll turn it like back into back end here. Like that. Let's put this one this way. This one, I'm gonna scrunch them in there so that it's got a nice layer, even if I have to kind of smush the bread to one side so it fits. I want that whole crust on the bottom. Okay, I might have to cut them in half and like place them because it doesn't fit evenly, but that's okay. Hey, it's all about improvising, right? And making sure that it works. Okay, so look at, it's not pretty to look at right now because I kind of broke that bread in half just to get it to fit. Who cares, right? Who cares? That's what we're gonna do. And then it says to pour some of the syrup over the bread. So this is super hot though. I'm gonna have to pour it into something or use, let's see. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pour just a little bit. I'm gonna pour it over the bread. And you know what I don't know? I kind of forgot if I'm supposed to add a layer of the pudding now, or the custard, and then the bread, or the bread, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to put the other bread right now, or if I'm supposed to make the custard and then do that. I better go check. Let me check, and I'll come back, and we'll finish. Okay, so I went back to make sure that I'm doing it the right way, and I am. So you're gonna layer your bread into your baking thing, okay, like I did. And now I'm gonna layer, I might have made too much bread, but that's okay. Now you're gonna do another layer of bread. I'm gonna do it like that and try to squeeze it. Oh, there we go, that worked out good. Now we're gonna layer, so you're gonna have 2 layers of that toasted bread. You guys, this is gonna be so good. How can you go wrong? There's freaking bread in there. I mean, hello. You guys know me. Butter, bread, bring it the hell on, please. Okay, I'm gonna cut this guy in half. So I actually ended up using like 11 and a half slices of bread. I'm gonna just push him down in there because that custard's gonna make the bread really soft, and so is the syrup. That pan is so hot, you guys. Okay, so now, I'm excited, you guys. But the thing is, you have to make this early because it's gotta chill for like 4 to 5 hours or overnight to let the custard set. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait that long, to be honest with you. Okay, pouring the syrup over. Heck yeah, girl, sign me up. Look at that. And it says just to kind of let that syrup get all gooey down into that bread. Oh my Lord, who thought of this? Like what Middle Eastern woman was sitting around one day and said, hey, I think I'm gonna put bread and put syrup and make a custard. Genius, genius. Like, why can't I think like that? You know, I'm pretty creative, but I haven't made that yet. This is leftover. So good. I love bread. Okay, we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna make our custard now. Okay, another pan. I better get a bigger one. All right, so I'm gonna use this guy right here. And I kind of had to take notes because I don't want to forget. It's my first time making it. And not only that, they have this stuff in like different measurements that we Americans are not used to, like grams and milliliters. Okay, I didn't learn that in school. We never learned metrics. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I have to go and try to convert everything. So anyways, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna, what are we gonna do? We are going to put we're gonna need 2 1/4 cups of milk. So we're gonna mix half of the milk, which is like, I'm gonna do 1 cup of milk. I'm gonna do 1 cup of milk. Okay, 1 cup of milk. And you're still gonna need 1 1/4 cups for the rest of the recipe. So let me grab another measuring cup. So I put 1 cup in the pot, and now I'm gonna measure up 1 1/4 cup because I'm gonna need that again. Okay, so 1 1/4 cup, and you're gonna mix the flour. So I'm gonna turn this on, and I'm not gonna put it very high because milk will boil really fast and it'll burn, you'll scorch it, and it'll taste horrible. So it said to mix the flour and half of the milk in a pot. And you need 5 tablespoons of flour. I think the original recipe called for corn flour, but you can use regular flour in place of corn flour. It's just a thickening agent, so it's not going to hurt it. So it needs 5 tablespoons of flour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but the thing is with flour, it has to cook a little bit, okay? So if you're using the flour, do it in these steps for me, okay? So in here I have 1 cup of milk, 5 tablespoons of flour. Now remember, I'm kind of doing these conversions on my own, so we're gonna live and learn and see how good I figured it out. Now you're gonna need, you're gonna let that thicken just a little tiny bit, and then you're gonna add the rest of the milk, and you're gonna add sweetened condensed milk. Okay, you can find this in the baking aisle at Aldi. You can find this in the baking aisle at Kroger. Borden's make it. Borden's make it. This one's called Baker's Corner. It's at Aldi. Same thing, same exact thing. So this one's the sweetened condensed milk. I'm just gonna open it while let me move these out of the way. I'm gonna open this while that's kind of working, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it though, because I don't want it to burn. Okay. I don't know how many of you ever cook with sweetened condensed milk, but there's these cookies called Magic Pan bars that my mother used to make. They're coconut and chocolate chips, and they have a graham cracker crust, and they always use this sweetened condensed milk. It makes me think of my childhood, and I love it. It has such a good taste to it. Okay, so right here, I'm just kind of watching this. I have it on a medium flame, and I'm trying to watch it so that it gets thick. And once it starts thickening up, we're gonna add our condensed milk. We are gonna add the rest of the regular milk. We're also gonna add, this is so fattening, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, we're gonna add 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Oh my God, I can hear you guys screaming at me from there. Okay, I know, but you guys, you know, it's a dessert. It's a dessert. I mean, come on. It's got to have a little bit. Oh, I already had some cream out, but we'll use this one. All right, it's already, the flour is kind of settling in the bottom, so I guess I'm going to keep just stirring it to watch how it's thickening. Just to kind of, I'm mixing it enough just to incorporate the flour and that milk together, and then I'll add the other ingredients. When I kind of see that there's no chunks of flour right now in the bottom, I'll add the rest of my stuff, because it might look a little chunky at first. Don't worry, don't freak out. It'll smooth out, okay? And it's looking nice and thick, so I am going to go ahead and add the rest of that milk. Yep. And this is what's going to make the custard for you. And of course you need pistachios. There's been a few girls who made the kunafa and they didn't have pistachios. I guess you can substitute walnuts if you didn't have pistachios, but you know, pistachios, that's what you need for this. So don't neglect to get the pistachios. So I added the rest of that 1 1/4 cup of milk. Now I'm going to add the sweetened condensed milk. Oh, look at the thickness going on there. How can this not be good? How can it not be good? I don't know. Oh wow, it's going to be tasty. I can see why it has to set, because it's like a pudding, right? And puddings need refrigeration and they need to set for a little bit. Okay. I hope I get dinner done before they get here, but it's taking me forever to kind of walk through this because I've never made it, but that's okay. I like to try new things. I like to experiment with new foods, so I love this. All right, now we're going to add, what am I going to add now? I am going to add the whipping cream. So now we got to add 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And you know what, this pudding part also calls for the rose water and orange blossom. Again, I'm going to take it real easy on that because I really don't want to overpower the pudding. Okay. Oh, my kids are going to like this. I don't know, Ava's kind of weird about custard and stuff, so she might not like it, but I know 100% Sophie's going to love this. All right, so let me just check. We did our milk, we did our condensed milk, we did our whipping cream, 5 tablespoons of flour, and now all we have left to add is the rose water and the orange blossom. And then you're going to cook this until it thickens. It's kind of like the zanud el sit that I made, how we made that custard and it kind of got really thick at the end. That's exactly how you want it to be, a thick pudding-like consistency. So I'm going to add the rose water, and I'm adding a teaspoon. I am adding a teaspoon because the bread already has it in it, and I just think it's too much. I think it'll be too much, but we'll add one. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of it. I will add 1 teaspoon of the orange blossom, and that's it. I'm not adding more. I really don't want to overpower it. I think that's enough. Okay, so let me, maybe I'm wrong. I'll see. It's really fragrant. Right away you can smell it. So I think that that's gonna be, you know what I'll do? Let me rinse the spoon. And I'll give it a taste and I'll see. Always taste your food. Taste it. So you can, you know, make changes. I can really taste it, but I'm wondering if I should add just a little bit more. Maybe like another half a teaspoon of each. Let's see. All right. God, but that bread has already that flavor in it. I don't want to like go crazy. What do you think? Should I add the half a teaspoon? Let me taste it again. Let me just taste. All right, I'm gonna add just a half a teaspoon more. I'm gonna add half a teaspoon more of each kind. So here's a half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. I'll write the directions out because I know you're probably confused as hell at this point. So what I ended up doing is putting 1.5 teaspoons of rose water and 1.5 teaspoons of orange blossom water. If you don't have the orange blossom, add more rose water, I guess. I'll tell you. Okay, let's just, it's starting to thicken nicely. And this takes a few minutes, so give it time, stir it occasionally so that it doesn't burn. And I'll come back in a minute. I'm gonna give it one last taste just to see how I like the addition. Yeah, that's better. I like it better. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish this, wait until it gets thick, and then I'll come back. All we're gonna do is we're gonna pour it over the top of the tusk, the bread, okay? The bread rusks, I'm sorry, and then we'll refrigerate it, you know, top it with our pistachios, refrigerate it for our 4 to 5 hours, whatever. I'm never gonna make it 4 or 5 hours. I'll be in this before 4 o'clock, I guarantee it. Anyway, that's all we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go finish this, guys, let it get thick, and I'll come back, we'll finish it up, pop it in the fridge, and then we'll make our chicken tikka masala. All right, that custard's come to a nice thick consistency. It's really thick. Not too thick, not where I can't pull the spoon out. Not like the Zanud El Sit where it was really thick. This is a little less of a, thick consistency. It's good, so it's like where you can pour it over the bread stuff, okay? So I just allowed it to, I don't know, cook for maybe like 5 to 7 minutes until it was really thick, and I stirred it quite a bit because I didn't want to burn. And I might have almost went too far with it, honestly. I should have probably pulled it off a little bit sooner, but it still looks okay. Because you know, milk and that it burns quickly, so you gotta watch it. You don't want scorched milk. So now I'm just pouring that milk mixture, the cream, all over the top. Oh my gosh, okay. And I'm gonna immediately put water in that pan so it's easier to clean. Because sometimes it's hard to get these pans clean after some of these desserts. So just add water right away. I'm gonna give it kind of a good shake so that I can make sure that every little nook and cranny has the pudding. Oh wow, you guys. Look. Oh, it looks amazing. Okay, now let me get my pistachios, and I'm going to top it with pistachios that I've ground up. Oh, that's fennel seeds. That's not gonna work, is it? I thought that was pistachios this whole time. Okay, uh-oh, here we go. You guys have so many spices, it's obscene. Okay, but I love spices. All right, I have some more whole pistachios. I might have to grind them up, but I have a little bit in here. All I'm gonna do is sprinkle them on the top. I might have to get some more, but this ought to do. I mean, it doesn't have to have a lot. Just enough to make it look pretty on the top. This is plenty. Just enough to make it look pretty. How about that for luck? I had just enough. Oh yeah, hello. I am not mad at you. Okay, here we go. Topped with the pistachio. I'm gonna go refrigerate it and I'm gonna let it set. I'm gonna try to let it set for 4 to 5 hours, but I'm not making any promises. So that's it, that's that bread pudding. And we'll come back later and I'll slice it for you, let you know how it is. But now we're on to the chicken tikka masala. You gotta try it. And you gotta be honest.
Sandwich?
No. It's a bread pudding.
Wow.
Is it good, really?
Bye-bye.
And he won't eat any. He won't even have one bite. He won't do it. Well, good. Coffee.